The FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars.
Well, hold on, don't say bad people when you mean the one person who was put behind bars and then mysteriously died. The one, like, it's not plural. Don't imply that you've snagged all the clients or whatever. Remember, the new running story is that this was a nothing burger and everybody needs to just move on. But don't worry, Pam Bondi, with her prior comment about having the client list on her desk ready to be viewed, she made the administration look even more comical and clownish than it did when they suddenly decided this entire thing needed to be covered up. But don't worry, she's on board now. We're gonna get to that in just a sec. I love Karoline Leavitt saying, you'll have to ask her, stop talking to me. I'm really uncomfortable right now, because she knows what she's involved in. She knows that she's a part of this elite cover up. And a lot of them are probably feeling pretty foolish for the prior things that they've said, not just Pam Bondi. JD Vance said back in September 2021, remember when we learned that our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy who ran a literal child sex trafficking ring, and then that guy died mysteriously in a jail, and now we just don't talk about it? Yeah, I do remember that. That was a second ago, actually. That was right now. We're not talking about it. We're not supposed to anyway. It didn't happen. Again, he said we learned that our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy. But I guess they weren't. I guess no other wealthy, powerful person was connected. I guess he was just one lone pervert. And that's it. America's child sex trafficking crisis has been solved because we got that one weird dude, I suppose. And JD Vance all of a sudden is the most silent about this. He doesn't want to talk about this at all. But anyway, I said that Pam Bondi is now on board with the message. So she said, in February, I did an interview on Fox. It's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list. My response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK and MLK files. That's what I meant. Yeah, but you responded to a thing about the client list. So if it didn't exist and it was never a thing, why did you respond affirmatively that it's on your desk? Wouldn't you have leaped at the chance to be like, well, hold on, we don't have a client list. Obviously I have paperwork, but not that. No, you said it's on. So what the story they would have you believe is, she just had a bunch of paperwork and she had no idea what was in it, including the most important single thing, which would be his connections to other people involved in the criminality. Now, I'm not expecting that she would have memorized every word of some massive document, but that is the single most important piece of evidence. And she, at that point, had no idea whether it was in the folder or not. She apparently had not looked at it literally at all. That's what they would have you believe. Okay, well, they're free to try to get you to believe that, and you're free to be duped if you want to be, I suppose. Anyway, during that little that press conference, and I apologize, we don't have the elements for you. It just happened. Trump interjected saying, "Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? We have Texas. We have this, all of the things, and people still talking about this guy, this creep. That is unbelievable." QAnon. Like, I know that we haven't been on like good terms from the very beginning because I think you're all a bunch of weirdos and you've all lost your minds. But you guys believe that there's massive cover-ups to protect powerful people. If this does not strike you as that cover-up, I don't think anything could. Trump is now jumping in to say, stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein, move on, we've got other stuff. He is so devoted to moving you off that topic that he's pointing you towards the Texas floods, which is a thing he's directly being criticized for. He would rather you talk about a thing where people are implying he's culpable in the deaths of dozens of kids than that you keep talking about this pervert. That doesn't strike you as a little bit strange? Now it does to some, thankfully. There are some on the right that, again, I would disagree with on literally everything and are not at all happy about this obvious cover up. One is Alex Jones.
It's just absolute horse on its face, and it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. You know, Trump is doing a lot of good, and obviously the deep state's trying to destroy me for supporting him. It's been hell, and a lot of good's happening. I'll say this. This is very, very painful and nauseating. I'm actually physically nauseated in the last 3 hours since I got up and just trying to collate this. So now by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity. And, you know, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country. And they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out.
I don't think that's integrity, dude. I think you need to go to a doctor. You look really sick. But anyway, setting aside how very strange that throwing up thing was, I am very glad that he put that out because it is sticking to his guns. And also, I really support him filming videos while driving around. But anyway, no, I am glad that he did that because it is consistent. I don't think he goes quite far enough in the end. Like the defensiveness of, oh, they're getting so much good stuff done. I do really, what you're watching is in real time, a guy who is balancing, well, I've been saying they're doing ritualistic essay and sacrifice of kids. And then that's being covered up. And now I find out Trump is covering that up. And I really like the tax cuts. I guess I'll complain a bit, but I really want that money. That's what you're seeing out of him. If you believe the stuff that he has claimed to believe about Epstein, about child trafficking, about elite cover-ups, about the deep state, you do not get to brush this aside. You do not get to support anyone who participates in this based on what he has said and has said about other politicians that he claims are a part of the cover-up. You don't get to come back and say, oh, but they do other good stuff. According to your lore, your narrative, Donald Trump is participating in the highest level cover-up of child essay, and you're apparently fine with that. That's disqualifying, not just for Trump, but I would say for you. Now, look, we could go to Laura Loomer's talking about libs of TikTok, which had previously been like, oh, Trump is gonna get in there. He's gonna expose all those libs. No, super quiet about it. She's like retweeting other people who are criticizing Trump, but she's not saying anything about it, even though her dude apparently now is actively participating. And not just in the official thing of we're gonna pretend that nothing happened. We're gonna put out this video that's got a minute cut out of the middle of it. The most suspicious thing you've ever seen in your life. But he's gonna jump in front of a question at a press conference and be like, stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump is not just part of a cover-up, he's the enthusiastic head of it.